to have the refreshments and the conversations, but without any food coma. Are you ready for Power Up this afternoon?
Yes!
So this session is all about motion, strength, and Rensley progress. To kickstart with our journey into next generation of motive power battery, please help me welcome the first speaker of this afternoon, our North American
Did you take it off or did it fall? Oh.
Murray Pickram. Welcome.
Mike?
Oh. Sorry. Oh boy. Thank you. Good afternoon. We're going to get into the next generation of our battery displays. I'm going to introduce first, the wireless display. This is the next generation from what we had earlier. Now what we're adding is the feature of wireless communication. It'll work on a 2G platform. It'll cover all the industries from heavy industrial to light industrial, GSE equipment, air support, special heavy-duty equipment, and high-voltage energy. Again, the advantage of this is it's going to be a 2G wireless system. What makes this convenient for customers is operations that have man-up forklifts. When the operator is going to be separated from the battery compartment itself, the display now will give him ease of operation and visibility to the battery, even if he's sitting 30 to 40 feet in the air. Another unique function of this is sometimes when you're connecting a display in a forklift application, the cabling becomes a difficult obstacle, and people will bang the cable, they'll hook onto the cable and break it, and therefore render the display inoperable. By going wireless, we remove that opportunity for damage. The key features, of course, it's cordless. It has the new enhanced graphics package and telemetry. It's a one-to-one communication. If something happens that the display becomes disconnected from the battery itself, it will reconnect automatically and reset itself. No manual interpretation is needed. Again, the display it's the new graphics display, and it covers all of the voltages of all the equipment that we offer. The key features of the display itself: 2.4G communication, runs at 15 to 25 meters. It's a resistance touch, so it's a touch screen. So operationally, just by finger touching, you can maneuver your way through the menu itself. It works operationally from -25 to +70 degrees C, so it's not going to be hurt in adverse climate conditions. And it's IP64. And presently today it comes in 2 languages, Chinese and English, but there's additional development going on to further advance the language parameters of this device. Next, we're going to go into the second screen that we offer today. This is going to be, again, in all the applications that we mentioned before, these will run in parallel. Heavy industrial to light industrial, GSE ground support equipment, special purpose heavy-duty vehicles, and high-voltage energy storage. Key benefits, of course, are the languages. It runs up to 13 different languages, so depending on where you are in the world today, you can get a language that's going to be native to the area where the people are working to make it much more user-friendly as an interface tool for the people. Applications are going to be the same. The new graphics package with telemetry, of course, the language, the high sensitivity, the touch screen itself, it will be identical to the other unit, and customizational to all the different voltages that we offer. Another enhancement of this product will be a 360 degree pivot. So no matter where this unit happens to be sitting on the truck, if a fixed location does not work for what you needed, the screen itself can move in 360 degrees for ease of use to help the operator as he's operating his vehicle, limiting the amount of opportunities that he could have by having to not keep his eyes on his work. He can move the screen around to help him adapt. A lot of the same features again. This one runs from minus 30 C to plus 70 degrees C. Adverse weather, heat or cool is not going to affect it. Capacitive touch, and again, most of the same features and functions that we have from the previous screen, and works in all the voltages. This is a sample of the new telemetry, which is going to be quite different than the previous generation. A little more user-friendly, a little more easier for the customer to try to interact. Our previous version was really good, but some of the feedback that we had gotten was that it was a little harder to trace and track telemetry on the vehicle. Now with this new screen, it's more user-friendly, more easier for the operator, for the customer, and the technicians to follow, troubleshoot, and identify how the unit is working. And these two units are ready. We're ready to go. As you're putting your orders in today, talk to your coordinators and ask them for more information. Any questions about the screens? Yes?
Previously we are using a wired display.
Yes.
Now it's a wireless.
Yeah, this device here is now going to be, you have it as a wireless feature.
What are the range?
12 to 20, or sorry, 15 to 25 meters.
15 to 25.
Yeah. And why it's going to be variable because it's going to be depending on where you are, what the work environment looks like. But it's the main feature when you're looking, if you looked at the vehicles from before, we're looking like order pickers, turret trucks that are going to go upwards of 60 feet in the air. Now the operator is not going to be detached from the telemetry from that battery. That's one of the features. The other one is the wireless connectivity on some vehicles, pallet trucks, ones where there's a lot of operator interface. We see a lot of times operators will hit the cord by mistake and render that wireless unit inoperable, which makes it very difficult. So we're going to solve two problems with one operation.
How accurate is it compared to the wired one and wireless one?
What's that?
Is there any accuracy difference from the wired and wireless?
No.
It will be remain same.
It'll be identically the same. And like I said, if it does lose communication, because it maybe had stretched just beyond the limits, as it comes back into play, it will reconnect automatically and reboot. So it's not something you'll have to reset on your own.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Murray, the on-off button is displayed, of course, but if this disconnects more than 25 meters, as you said, the battery continues operating?
Just what ends up happening is it just ends up losing its telemetry feature. That's all. Yeah, you're not going to be a problem in the air, I don't think.
One more question.
Yes.
How often we have to change the power bank?
Okay, this is a power pack. It's rechargeable. So when it does, what probably going to be the recommended is you're going to want to have at least a spare. So when one drops off, you put the other one on the charge bank. But I don't know the answer to that about the life expectancy of the battery. Any more questions? Thank you so much. You're stuck with me again. Ready? Okay, the next topic we're going to talk about is balancing, active balancing and battery management systems. So in this slide presentation, we're going to cover the industrial pain points. We're going to introduce to cell equalization and the different types of equalization that's on the market today and where we plan on heading the company. We're going to talk about the BSL solution, and we'll get into the BMS cloud platform a little more in depth from what we talked about earlier today. So first off, we'll start with the industrial pain points. So with battery cell inconsistencies from the different types of balancing that we do today, passive balancing, which is one item that we talk about there's a severe energy loss, upwards of 50% utilization. The balancing itself, by using passive balancing, is going to take you on the larger batteries maybe upwards of 10 hours to do a proper balancing. There's some thermal management issues because when you're passive balancing, the way that you handle the energy, and we'll talk about this later, there's going to be some heat. There's going to be some heat in the chip itself and the BMS, and there's going to be some battery performance is going to be affected. And the acceleration of the battery degradation, it can drop to probably 70% over 8 years. So the energy loss that we experience from passive balancing greatly affects how the product's going to perform on the daily basis and long term. Oops. Sorry. Now we're going to talk about equalization. So there's two main types of equalization. We get passive and we get active. And the main point between those two theories of balancing, passive balancing, what we're basically doing is when you look at the cell topography of the cells themselves, and when the voltages start to come into line, what we do today is during passive balancing, the cells that are increased higher than the lower ones, we take the cell extra voltage and we bleed it off and discard it. We don't use it. With active balancing, what we try to do is take that energy that we're depleting from the higher voltage cells and actually transferring it into the lower voltage cells, therefore utilizing that battery power, that battery capacity, and not getting rid of, but reusing it, extending the life, making the battery that much more usable. When you look at, from some of the testing that we do and some of the data that we pull back, when you look at the key performances between the two, you can see from the graph that active balancing definitely outperforms passive balancing. Just from efficiency alone, you're looking at a 90% to a 50% difference. And you look at battery life improvement, it's a 25% improvement over a 10% loss on passive balancing. So again, bleeding off energy as opposed to reutilizing it in your system definitely makes more sense. So when you look at how active balancing actually works, so you start off with real-time monitoring. You're actually looking in real time, not historically, but you're looking in real time the voltages, the currents, and the temperatures, and analyzing how those are in present state. Then through the use of your active balancing systems, however you put them together, the system makes intelligent judgment on how to reuse that information. So now that we're gaining the information, we now put it into algorithms and look at it, and what best suits the battery application to make it work today. Thank you. After we get that information and we start making assessments on what's going on with the product, now we look at dynamic balance, and we actually start using that product and shifting the energy from cell to cell to try to balance it out, giving us the best possible opportunity. Then we look at the precision. How are we going to transfer that information? Did that go off? Oh, I'll just hold it here. How's that? Better? Okay. I may have knocked it off. So then we look at the precision transfer. So through active balancing, we now actually pass that energy from battery to battery. We do it through DC to DC converters. So we're actually taking that battery power, we're maximizing its capacity, and then transferring it to the lower voltage cells with minimal loss. So we're trying to capture as much of that as we can to reuse it. When you look at the advantages from what we've seen from all the studies and all the testing that we do, we're looking at a greater than ultimate energy efficiency of 90%. The speeds for balancing of active over passive, you're probably looking at 10 times the difference. Extended battery life is 20 to 30%, and the extended overall battery life is 5 to 10%. So there's definitely a difference in that type of an activity when balancing your cells. It's well worth the investment, and it definitely gives you a larger advantage over a lot of companies that are just using lower levels of balancing. So again, we're going to look at how energy is actually transferred. So when you look at captive equalization over inductive equalization, so the energy is transferred in the captive style. We're actually transferring the energy through balancing through a capacitive type of a situation. So it's not a really efficient type, It does capture, but it's not like a whole lot of precision. When you look at the inductive style, we're using more of magnetics, it has a lot less of an energy depletion. So there's a huge advantage over that type of technology. This another one here gives you an example of like a transform-based equalization as opposed to bidirectional. So transform-based is it's using a capacitive style. It's transferring the information or transferring the energy from cell to cell, from the higher to the lower. But there's a little bit of an energy loss, and it's a lot slower of a situation. This type is used in larger batteries of higher capacity and higher cell counts. Bidirectional DC to DC equalization, which is a path that companies like ourselves are heading towards, through magnetics and through fast flow and energy efficiency, we're able to take that information, take that energy from a cell, and best suit to see the path to go through the lower energy. So we're going to equalize those cells, we're going to do it in the best possible way, and maximize the efficiency of the cell itself. So again, we want to reduce energy loss, we want to increase the speed of how we do this, and do it in the best possible way. You're looking at the core competitive advantages of this type of a balancing. So of course, balancing efficiency is one of the top priorities. We're looking at over 98% efficiency, sorry, 96%. The individual core cell balancing module area is now reduced by 70% because the technology that we're using, we're able to actually use smaller componentry, which gives us a lot more space utilization, and you'll understand why a little further on the slide presentation. We use adaptive algorithms, so no manual interruption is needed. The batteries make intelligent, intuitive decisions based on the information that it gathers today. Reliability, of course, it's far greater than anything else that you see out there. When you're going from capacitive style to magnetics, it makes a huge difference. You see here from an example the difference in the style of boards from one to the other. You can see the difference in the sizing. And space reduction is always, as electronics become more efficient, makes a big difference. So the AI active equalization advantages, again, ultimate efficiency, greater than 90% energy recovery, extended battery life, the lifespan of the battery is 20 to 30%. It's got a superior endurance, so it boosts the usable capacity by 5 to 10%. The rapid charging, the speeds are a lot safer, a lot faster, and the AI optimization, again, with the efficiency. System security challenges. Now when you start to change your technology and you start to remodel and re-identify how you're doing it, there's always going to be some issues that you have to look after. So system security challenges, I mean, you're looking for the impulse current risk, you're looking for arc thermal runaway, you're looking for maintenance safety. And from the integrated requirements, you want to maximize the space utilization, the EMC optimizing, and assembly simplification. Solution basically is the deeply integrated BMS, which now becomes 50% smaller than what the previous version was. I'm going to show you an example of what we're able to do. So in our last version, we had a PDU. Oops. So we had a PDU and we had a BMS in the battery. Two separate components. Space is going to be it's definitely not as, it's a next step, but the next generation now, by optimizing and utilizing new technology, we're able to shrink the size of the BMS and now put the BMS inside the PDU. So now we have PDU and BMS, one solid state unit, and we reduce the space utilizing in the battery by 50%. So with the ultimate intelligence, you're looking at the bidirectional DC to DC balancing. You look at the main relay. We're now getting a higher current capacity. We're getting a better rapid response and higher reliability than previous generations. For the pre-charged relay, we're seeing a limit in inrush current and we're protecting the main relays. So long term, that's going to mean less downtime, less breakage. The system is going to run cooler, it's going to run more durable. And for the fusible section, of course, we get disposable fuse protection. It's a rapid fuse with high reliability. With the pre-charge resistor and the current sensor, we've got a more sustained solid-state device, which is going to outperform anything that we see in the industry today. The productive function of the BDU, we get short circuit protection, protection mechanisms for the fuse, rapid melting response time of less than 10 milliseconds. We got earth leakage protection, so installation monitoring and high voltage interlock. We get overload protection, so that with this intelligent protection, depending on the overload level, you can choose between instant disconnection or delayed disconnection, depending on how you want to do it. And now we've got a BDU and a BMS collaboration that comes into one unit. The core advantages of the integrated design, again, space utilization. We're reducing the space needed for this product by 50%. The cost reductions, which is always a big part of this whole package, is a 30% reduction. System failure rates are down by 40%. And again, in forklift or material handling, that type of battery today, most of your failure points, most of the high rate of what's going to happen is going to happen in that central zone. So we're now going to reduce that again by another 40%. The EMC is improved by 35%, and the assembly simplification by 60%. Now we're going to take a look at some of the new models that we have. Originally, we're working on the high voltage units. So today we now have a 24 volt. And on the larger size, we get the 36, 48, and 80 volt units. So now all the batteries will become totally integrated with solid state controllers and moving our battery into the next generation. I've got some mock-ups of the pictures with some of the details on the units themselves. The 24, the 36. You get into the 48 and into the 80 volt units. Oops, sorry, hang on a second. Now the BMS cloud platform. So with this new setup and this new parallel, how we put this unit together, we've now got an SOC, estimated errors typically are 5 to 10%, effectively accurating the range and the limits. Efficiency balancing, energy waste is severe, with the battery pack capacity degrading, rate increasing by over 30%. The passive response relays, early warning delays over 6 hours, posing extreme high risk of thermal runaway and other emergencies, and the inefficient early warning signs of undetected alarms. Oops, sorry. For the core competencies with the Edge VMS, we've got real-time acquisition through voltage, current, and temperature data. We've got execution of balancing management and threshold direction, short-term state estimation and SOC calculations, overcharge and over-discharge protection, and thermal management control. We've got 4G communication modules. Data transfer frequency is increased by over 10 times. Supports millisecond level data uploads, low latency, high reliability of connectivity, and OTA firmware remote upgrades. And what that really helps us with is real-time, immediate analyzation of what's going on with the equipment. The faster we can detect, the faster we can understand how the battery is operating, how the whole system comes together, we can make corrections on the fly, make the battery become more efficient, and limit the amount of trouble that we're going to have. And with the cloud platform, we've got machine learning and AI algorithm optimization, full life cycle data storage and analysis, predictive maintenance and failure with early warning, and dynamic optimization of charging strategies. So when you look at the far side, you look at the flow chart of how the information works with the 4G communication and with the Edge BMS and the cloud platform. We have a seamless, high-speed, real-time communication system that is able to make intelligent decisions and make the correct moves, make the proper decisions to make sure this product works efficiently and safely. The high precision SOC and the SOH, plus or minus 3% breakthrough in SOC estimation accuracy. We've got less than 2% SOH data health estimation error control. Cloud-based data-driven methods for the SOC and the SOH, this is the estimators where we see the advantages coming from. All done through data collection with the voltage, current, and temperature, model construction and training, state estimation, and closed-loop optimization. The fault early warning system, again, because of the speed and the accuracy of what we're doing. For the level 1 alerts, we get 7 days in advance. Level 2 alert, 6 days in advance. And level 3 alert in 1 day in advance. So we've increased that accuracy by a lot. So we got vehicle to cloud integration strategy, intelligent alert layer enhancing early warning systems, AI self-learning optimization, and automatic disposition layer supporting cloud loop risk management. The AI learning portion is quite new and quite innovative in our industry. Basically what it helps us understand is how a battery has changed over life. A lot of times today with a lot of present systems, they design their systems based on a battery built on present day operation from brand new. As the battery ages by day, its algorithms, its state of health, it all changes. Using AI and our self-learning tools, we're able to adjust with this battery. As the battery starts to age, we start aging with it, and we start making decisions for charge and discharge based on those algorithms. Huge difference, huge optimization, better life, better safety, better batteries. So for the core capabilities of the OTA upgrades, the updated framework, only update the BMS core or the MCU firmware to reduce the updated package size. We get 5-layer security verification, identity authentication, battery level check, phased download, signature verification, and phased execution on the OTA. That's going to be really important as we move forward, as people start to look at your wireless situation and what you're doing. We get enhancement of our security capabilities. So we're continually enhancing the safety of the battery on the OTA optimization of the battery management system security policies, enabling security upgrades without requiring the presence on site. Again, another advantage that we have is when we do advancements or changes to our batteries, we're able to do everything from the corporate office, from engineering over the cell itself. A lot of companies don't have that optimization or opportunity to do it. What they end up having to do is be on site and have to do that. We're able to make those changes, make those adjustments on the fly from here in our office, and then we can go back on it, we can see how that has affected the battery and where the advantages have come from that. Huge opportunities for us to be selling against a customer to show him our advancements and where we are today. Questions? We covered a lot, so. No questions? I either did a really good job or a really bad job. If you have any questions, I'll be around all day. By all means, come over and see me, and we can discuss some of this a little further. Thank you.
Thank you, Murray, for demonstrating the most constant and continuously improved class.
Great job. Great presentation.
My laptop died.
Former BSL Flash Black Bea from AMPR territory, joining us to take a look at the Light Motive Center. Welcome, Bea.
哦，它现在是向上。OK。 Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Bea, and I'm here to talk about how we're solving some of the biggest challenges in the battery safety and performance for light motive power applications. Today, I'll walk you through the real-world challenges our industry faces with current battery systems, our integrated BMS solution, the 2 breakthrough technologies that make it all possible, and finally, the tangible benefits that you can expect in safety, efficiency, and intelligence. Let's start with what many of you may already experience. Slow response when something goes wrong. Software just can't react fast enough. There's no monitoring when it's powered off, which leads to hidden battery drain, or what we call as self-discharge. And all of this comes with high power consumption, which wastes your battery's energy. These aren't just inconveniences. They're risks to safety, reliability, and total cost of ownership. Now, let's imagine the ideal system. It's fast and has a hardware-based protection that acts instantly. It provides 24/7 monitoring, even when the system is off, and ultra-low power consumption. So the energy goes to where it's needed, and this is exactly what we've built. This is our answer. An integrated hardware and software system that acts as the intelligent brain of your battery. It sees everything, decides in real time, communicates seamlessly, and acts precisely, all in one closed-loop system. Our system delivers 3 clear breakthroughs: hardware safety shutdown that cuts power in milliseconds, 24/7 monitoring to prevent hidden discharge, and smart energy management that extends both range and battery life. Let me introduce our first game changer, the magnetic latching relay. Think of this as a memory switch. Once set, it stays in position without using any power. Unlike traditional relays that constantly draw energy, ours only uses a tiny post switch. That means no standby drain, longer device runtime, and real energy savings. This relay isn't just efficient, it's incredibly tough. It's built to withstand vibration, high voltage, and it lasts 5 to 10 times longer than traditional relays. This means fewer failures, fewer replacements, and it's perfect for demanding environments. When you compare the options, traditional relays are cheap upfront, but they're costly to maintain. Most FETs are efficient, but they're sensitive and expensive to protect. Our magnetic latching relay gives you the best of both: zero holding power, high reliability, and the lowest total cost of ownership. It's the clear choice for modern applications. Now, our second innovation is the 24/7 balancing technology. Imagine your battery pack as a team of cells. If one is weaker, it drags the whole team down. Traditional balancing only works briefly during charging. Ours works all day, every day, using smart algorithms to keep every cell in perfect harmony. The result is more capacity, longer life, and no maintenance headaches. We've tested this rigorously. Our system achieved 15.6% more capacity, 20 times longer balancing time per day, and over 600 additional life cycles as compared to the traditional methods. This isn't just theory, it's proven performance. Here's the test design and the comparison schemes as compared to traditional passive balancing. Our 24/7 balancing technology results in capacity increase, pressure difference reduction, higher SOC accuracy, and extended cycle life. This table shows key data of the 2 methods. And this chart shows the capacity retention rate comparison between 24/7 balancing, which is the blue line, and the traditional passive balancing, which is the orange line. What does this mean for your business? It means fewer maintenance events, no downtime for rebalancing, and significantly lower total cost of ownership. Our system works for you around the clock, so you don't have to. To wrap up, we deliver a product with better safety, longer runtime, and intelligence, without adding hardware costs. We're already deployed in energy storage and motive power systems, and we are continuously innovating, like tackling low temperature performance next. Let's talk about what this means in practice. Our magnetic latching relay technology provides millisecond level protection. It's faster than a blink. There is no hidden discharge ever. Our system uses multi-layer protection design because safety can't have a single point of failure. Your customers can trust your product, and you can trust your battery. Our battery system allows for accurate battery gauging, so users know exactly what's left. Longer battery life, which is up to 20% more cycles, and over 90% lower standby power. So the energy goes to the work, not the management. And finally, this adaptive and evolvable battery system supports remote updates to improve over time. The built-in self-diagnosis prevents failures before they happen. And the cloud monitoring function allows for real-time insights and management. This isn't just a battery management system, it's a battery guardian. So in simple terms, we've replaced the old, slow, energy-consuming systems with a smart, efficient, and always-on battery partner, which leads to safer products, longer runtime, fewer returns, and happier customers. Thank you. I'll open the floor for questions. No questions? Okay, thank you. 我在这站一会儿吧。
怎么紧张是吧？
是的。
讲的他们都听不懂。
Thank you, Bea, for the illustration on the light motive sector. So upcoming next, I'll be the part-time speaker for the product that's still in the sample phase, which is the explosion-proof product. Since everyone has been visited our factory, I believe that you have already seen the battery in our showroom. There's a little bit strange shape there and stay there for a while. But actually, it's still under sample stage. Because as a hardcore product concerns humans' life, we bear in mind that safety is the first on top of this application. So as an explosion-proof safety product, we will need to have the certification first. So here today we are sharing because we believe that with your sourcing abilities, you will have this product bear in mind and mapping into your future. So for this hardcore technology, for the explosion-proof products, we have mainly two applications. One is for miles, and another one is for the explosion-proof forklift. So as I just mentioned, the certification comes the first before it launch. So for this product, the cell we are using already got the MA and IEC 62619 certificates. And MA in China as Meian, these certificates for the cells we already got it. and it should comply with the mining safety standards for the explosion-proof batteries. But for the whole battery packs, we are still applying the certificates, and it takes around 10 months to 1 year. And in this battery application, we also use the mature wooden BMS with 3-tier architecture, supports rapid capacity upgrades. And for this type of battery, we have explosion protection and fault alarm, and also thermal runaway early with warning and suppression, also a built-in automatic fire extinguish system. And for the application, it's usually used in, for the mining battery, it can use in Class 1 explosion-proof environments, such as the monorail, cranes, rubber-tired vehicles, and electric locomotives. Later, you can see some pictures of the application vehicles. And since we are using the LiPo4 battery, it offers benefits include improved air quality and noise reduction compared to the lead acid, and along with the reduced safety risk. Right now, lithium iron phosphate already takes up more than 80% in the lithium batteries cells for this type of application. And for this product, it's usually used in the vehicles you can see from the picture. It includes the mine shuttle bus, like you can transport the workers into the mine for working. And it's with a range of approximately 15 kilometers. For the next type is for electric inspection vehicle to give the safety inspection on the ground, and also electric reception vehicle, and also the lift platform truck. So for the key features of this type of products, they are safety devices specially designed for the flammable and explosive environments. So that's why we keep safety as the top priority. And for this core function, it lies in preventing the equipment itself from becoming an ignition source while ensuring the stable operation in hazardous locations. And from BSL battery side, we can customize the design for this type of battery, but the current certification is for 230 ampere hours battery, and we use the kind of high capacity cells to modular design. And also the battery outer box for this type of battery, you need to apply also an external case certificate for the explosion-proof design. And with no memory effect for the cells and high performance of the BMS to prolong the battery cycle life. So this is the battery for my application. You can have a look at the design. It's kind of similar as the one in the showroom. And it's 320 volt, totally 73.6 kilowatt. And also using the REPT cell of 230. So the battery box will be designed in compliance with this standard in China safety technical requirements for mine use. And for international standards, we will apply the IEC 62619 as the full battery pack, and also the 60079. So this type of battery is the second type for the forklift battery, which is explosion proof. And I believe there are already some brands doing this type of forklifts. And we will have this battery ready for this type of vehicles. And it's 96 volt, which is suitable for the forklift platform, around 22.8 kilowatt, because also for the 230 REPT cells. As you can see from the BOM battery drawing, there are separate the electronics part and also the battery cells. So the PDU is entirely isolated from the battery cells module. So for the primary functions of this explosion anti-proof, the features is kind of similar as the regular forklift battery because they have some individual cell overcharge, voltage and discharge, etc. to control by the BMS. But what makes it different from the usual forklift battery we manufacture, it has more sensitive low temperature charging inhibition and also post-severe discharge charging lockout, also the automatic fire suppression capability, liquid cooling management, and also the gas over limit detection. So for this product, we will have very strict standards to manufacture and do the quality control part. Here are some exact standards that you can have a look. So we need to make sure there's no leakage through this machine for the battery. And as this battery is still under the sample testing stage, so we will still continue to make it better and make the certificates issued as soon as possible. And we will keep in mind for this battery that all the danger and accidents will be controlled in the first stage of the manufacturing site. Thank you for listening this part of the machinery battery. So do you have any questions on this part? Okay. So if there's no further questions, because one of our engineer, James, is responsible for this part of the battery, fully responsible for this. So if there are any questions, we will commit to answer your involving questions. So right now, let's have a small break for around 20 minutes. And after this, there will be 2 sectors more to end today's event. Thank you. See you later. Ah, 太不熟了。
能录音的吗？直播录音的吗？
好好。你是不是调一下你的那个麦，看高度够不够？
应该够吧？
它高度。
等一下，这个是下还是上？上和下都可以，是不是？
这个是上一页，这个下一页。
再按2下。
按一下。哦，一下。
你放在电池。
没有，它大家照到这上面看不到。
好。
3月没。那个是你等会要讲的电池吗？
不是，那个是充电机。
充电机是你要讲，不是你要讲的。
不是我要讲，但是我会指一下，大概这样。Come to you. 你可以坐那儿坐一会儿。这个是105，怎么这么大？双向逆变。来了，好。都在看产品耶。
Dear all, we will now dive into the world highly concerned with food and fruits we just had, which are all from farms, supported by the agriculture machineries. Welcome our next speaker, backbone force of our EMEA Motive Department, who just flew back China from business trip and ready to share fresh insights. Welcome Chloe Zhang.
动了。Okay. How's the break? So after the break, can you guys give me some applause? Thank you. Okay, thank you. More nervous. So the part I want to share to you guys is about the agriculture equipment battery. So follow Chloe. I'm going to take you a trip with an agricultural equipment and also with BSL BATT battery inside. Okay. So the presentation will come in with two parts. First, let's show you why we developed the battery for the agricultural equipment. Second part, I will share with you some cases of the battery we did to the customers before, like the high voltage. And also, we'll share with you the standard battery pack we made for the customers for some flexible solutions and then can meet a different kind of the application, okay? Okay, so a lot of the words, so no problem, follow Chloe. I don't think I need to explain a lot of the advantage of LFP to you guys, right? Because you are buying the lithium battery for the energy storage application and forklift or other application. So I don't need to introduce a lot of comparison of the lithium battery. So I want to text you guys. What's the advantage of the lithium battery? Anybody can answer? Okay. So with lithium battery, your machine can opportunity to charge. So when the battery no power, you can charge every time. No need to move to more time. Okay. And also we can think about it. You are rich and you have a farm and you have an agricultural equipment. And the agricultural equipment with the tank of 40 liters or 60 liters of the tank for the diesel or the gasoline. So even though you are rich, but you want to save money. So our purpose to use the lithium battery for the agricultural equipment is because money. We want to save the money. The customers want to save the money. So with the right now still a lot of the manufacturer of the agricultural equipment, maybe they are very famous branding. I learned from our customers that right now still have like around 90% of the equipment with the diesel or gasoline. Only have 10% of the equipment is coming with the electric battery. Okay. So, and it's similar. It's the same reason that with why you change your gas car with the EV. Why you use the lithium battery replace on your forklift with to replace the lead acid battery, right? So you can see here this type of the similar like the forklift. There are a lot of types like reach truck, pallet truck, right? So also the agricultural equipment also have different types, but most of the types are with this kind of base, and the battery is inside of here, and just different with the attachment. So for different type of the application, so you will use the different attachment. Okay. So we are designing the battery according to this type of the equipment. Okay. So why develop the agriculture? Develop the lithium battery for the agriculture. So I believe that Eric in previous day also shared with you that we actually invited a lot of the excellent engineers to our company. They have the rich experience in different type of industry, like mining, like agriculture. The second is that we're really grateful that our customers give us the opportunities. They're pushing us. And then one day, think, oh, they are just give us the inquiry to do the solution. And then one day we found that, oh, BSL have the abilities to do that. We can make even though no high voltage or low voltage for this kind of application. And also, right now, a lot of the manufacturer of the agricultural equipment, they are looking for the lithium battery for their new development. So we want to like step before. We want to stand before them, and then we can richer our experience and then can give more flexible solutions to our customers. Yeah. So I believe in 2026, I think right now our forklift lithium battery, we can do a lot of the solution can meet different brandings forklift. So I hope and I believe that in 2026, our battery for agricultural equipment industry, we will also hire our experience and give the high performance battery to our customers. Okay, now let's fill the battery. So the battery basics is quite a little bit different than the forklift lithium battery. So the basic condition for the batteries, first, waterproof. And second, dusty proof. Third is shock proof. Think about you working, you made agricultural equipment working in your farm, right? These are basic conditions. And also, some of the equipments will request the higher discharge current rate. Okay, so like I just mentioned, there are like around 10% of the equipment is coming with the electric, some of the branding, right? So this 10% will come with the low voltage product, also the high voltage product. So with our solution, if low voltage, we will use, like you can see on the stage, the low voltage charger. And if high voltage, we can use, we will suggest like that kind of the charger. This morning, our manager, Bella, shared that kind of the charger, charging the car. Yeah. Also, maybe I'm not sure that you have this kind of the requirements from your customers or not. We will meet a lot of different environments. Like maybe the equipment will work in the mountain, so the temperature will be very low, right? So, and also, you know, the agriculture equipment will work in spring, summer, or autumn. But winter, I think not a lot of farms will work because too cold. And so when summer, we will meet very high temperature environment. In this case, we also have the right solution. Okay, this product, you can see it, we did before to the customers. So how to achieve a battery can come with the waterproof, dusty proof, and also with the cooling system. But if with the fan cooling system, which means the fan will have holes, so it's not waterproof, right? So we will have the liquid cooling technology. So you can see here, this tube is for the liquid, this orange one. And here is the charging plug. Yeah. And this battery is 576 volts and 230 ampere hours. And our standard battery pack is also coming with the, mostly coming with the 230 ampere hours battery cells. Okay, and this one is also the high voltage one. The high voltage one you can see also with the cooling system, the liquid cooling system. So this in the middle, you can see this is the air conditioning system. So the air conditioning system and control system and the high voltage battery are separately. But some of the customers, they will have the air conditioner in the equipment already. So we just need to design the battery for the customers only. So here we are using the battery cells, 230 ampere hours battery cells. And assembling the battery cells to a modular. So I think you guys already know this very well. And this modular will be 12.8 volt and 460 ampere hours. And this is a battery box with 51.2 volt and 230 ampere hours with four modulars inside. And this part is with the heating pad. with the heating pad is maybe working in very low temperature. Yeah. And this one is the high voltage control box. I think inside of this box, we'll have a lot of the, it's a little bit similar as our blue box, the integrity PDU, but it's quite different because for the high voltage battery, the system are different, the logic are different with our standard forklift lithium battery. So inside of our high voltage control box also with the like the DC-DC shunt and this kind relays and this kind of accessories. Yeah. Okay, you can see here this is the connection of the high voltage control box and the battery pack. So with this standard battery and the box, we can stack the battery packs and to do the serial connection or parallel connection, higher the voltage or larger the capacity. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that this journey will give you very high performance for the battery. Yeah, thank you. Oh, any question? No questions? Really? Because you haven't made this kind of the equipment inquiry, right? But no worry, in future, if you have any requests from your market, just let us know, and our engineers, our excellent engineers like Lin Peng Zong and James will give us reliable solution. Okay, thank you.
But again, that's the simplicity of that design. We'll go on to the second pack. We're utilizing a 280 amp hour cell, and combined with the parameters how we put this one together, we're able to achieve 175.6 kilowatt hours with this battery. Again, there's the pack design, making this a 1P7S. Putting it together in the container, again, same operating range, identical capacities. It's the same cell, just a different amp hour capacity. And then you can see in this container, we're using 7 modules together, giving us a little higher capacity. There's a picture of what one looks like in the field. Turnkey solutions ready to go to drop into the trucks. We have some of these at some airlines today that we do some work with. It's newer industry for us that we're trying to expand our exposure. Application scenarios, these are some of the vehicles that we look like on the GSC ground support equipment product mix. These are the electrification that we see going on today. So as you're making your calls and talking to your different airlines and your different ground support areas, as you get that information, bring that back to us. Let us know what the compartments are. Give us the electrification of the vehicle, and then engineering can help design what you would be looking for. Questions on GSC? Any questions? Go to the LFP charger. So this is our next generation charger. Have it on display over here. Slimmer design, newer advance. It comes set up to be put on a shelf or with a wall mounting bracket. Simply attached to the wall, the charger hangs on it, all part of one kit. No extra pieces required. Small ergonomic. So this is it's a 3-phase AC input, forced air system with variable fans. So depending on what the heat load, whatever the environment that we're using the charger in, we're able to keep cooling to minimize any stress on the internal components of the charger itself. It utilizes CAN bus module communication, gives us real-time communication with the battery, so that enables us to do our proper charging, discharging, cycling, and our balancing. When you look at the product overview, it's a wide range of compatibility. So right now we can handle voltages from 380 up to 480 and in between. So depending on what your AC input is on the location or whatever country you work in, we're able to handle those voltages. Again, I mentioned it's got intelligent, controlled air-cooled forced air system and variable. So depending on the temperature of the charger with the internal components, we can adjust the cooling segment of the charger to keep the components inside working in an acceptable range. The DC output for the batteries that we're charging, we can work anywhere from 24 to 80 volt. So if your forklifts, depending on what they are, or your equipment that you're doing, at 24, 36, 48, 80 volt piece of equipment is able to be handled by these chargers. The mix is 24 volt is a singular, 36, 48 is a common, and 80 volt is a singular. So there's basically three different sets of voltages for the DC output. Compact design, as I mentioned earlier. It's plug and play. When that shows up at the warehouse, it's very easy for the installation crew that's going to install that. Everything is pre-done, preset, and pre-organized for the electricians. It's got an operational safety design, so it's made of industrial grade. We're not going to have any problems with connectors, with casings, bracketry, whatever you need to install the charger. And again, the output voltages are adjustable. The charger has, there's many different ways people call it hot disconnecting, micro shutdown, rapid shutdown, but when there's fault detection, either from a hot disconnect from a person disconnecting the forklift without turning the battery off, or there's any type of power interruption, the charger has micro disconnect on it, so it can instantly disconnect the power from the battery to limit backflow power to the battery doing any damage. It's built to calibrate and monitor individual voltages themselves. So if you've got a building that may be running off of grid power, or maybe it has a diesel generator backup power, if that power were to change or interrupt during the cycle of the battery, the charger itself can modify and adjust, so it's not going to be affected by the changes in the power that's going to be coming to it. Applications range from just regular warehouses, large logistics centers, sorting centers, indoor settings. It's not an outdoor charger to be placed in the environment itself. It needs to be in a covered area, but it handles any forklift or any type of vehicle that has an industrial battery in any type of application. It's good for regular opportunity conventional charging, fast charging. It'll handle any of those optimizations. Application scenarios, it could be a high-speed, high-volume point of location charging application. It can be used in a scenario where they have large charging rooms, where there's multiple chargers set up. It can work in a charging corral. It can work with heavy-duty, high-load material handling equipment. Like I say, in an outdoor environment, the trucks maybe, the chargers will work in a covered area, but it could be outdoor vehicles themselves. And any type of standardized indoor industrial environment where an industrial battery will be utilized, it can handle any of those applications. Some key product features. It's a 93% efficiency conversion charger. It runs at a very high level. Again, the voltages are 24 through 80 volts. We run in a 200 and 300 put output, depending if it's, depending what the voltage is, but the 200 amp to 300 amp output, depending on your application. All CAN communicated for our batteries for optimum protection. Like I mentioned, it's a high current fast charging charger itself, so it can handle the conversion that we set up for high efficiency fast charging. It's a high conversion efficiency, greater than 93%. CAN bus communication, of course, which delivers communication to the charger as we work with our new PDUs. Clear status indication on the LCD screen. It's very easy to follow, very functional, very step-by-step procedural. It's not complicated. And then the actual compatible installation, like I showed you, the charger bracket, the simplicity design of the charger. It can be a floor mount, shelf mount, or a wall mount. Again, just reviewing again about the high-intensity industrial scenarios. It's a very reliable, really defined charger. It's an advancement from our previous version. It should work well in any of your applications. It's got IP21 protective enclosure protection. It's a modular layout and neat wiring design. So what that means is any work that has to be done in the field, it's a simplistic wiring system. So if you have to do any work, it's easy to get to. And with the modular design of the actual power mods themselves are easy to get to through side access. And just with a couple of screws, you can pull the module out, replace it if anything were to happen to it. And most importantly, the charger components, the electrical components, the boards, the circuits, the wires, the connectors, all have triple protective coatings. So if there is moisture, there is humidity, any type of wet environment that could cause you a problem with the charger, the extra protections that we put into this charger should help you. Any questions on the charger? Yes? Oh, just a second, she'll get you, Mike.
You said the charger is now recognizing the batteries from 24 to 80 volts, right?
Yeah, 24 to 80 volts.
So it recognizes also the maximum current the battery receives.
380 and 480, from like the 380, 340 up to 480 volts.
No, to charge the battery.
I'm not sure what you mean. You were talking about the AC from the building to the charger?
No, from the charging to the battery,
From
it recognizes 24 to 80 volts.
So there's basically three models. You have a 24 volt dedicated for 24 volt systems. You have a 36/48 volt dedicated, and then an 80 volt. So one charger doesn't do all three voltages. So you have a 24, a 36/48 as one unit, and then an 80 volt as a separate unit. So there's three models that you would cover. And in each of those models, we do 200 and 300 amp output.
So understood. The question is, for example, a small battery, 24 volts battery, accepts low current. For example, only 100 amps current.
Yeah, yeah. So what you can do is you can program it down. So the 200 would be the max output, but you could bring it down to 100 if you needed to.
Okay.
It is all programmable, yes.
That's it. Yes.
So basically, if you get a situation where you get an over-discharged battery and you're trying to bring that back gently, you'll restrict the current to charge it to bring it back up above what they call safety shutoff levels. So yeah, but fully programmable.
Okay, clear.
Yeah. And password protected.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, just a second. Yes.
Are these chargers compatible with the former chargers?
When you say compatible, what do you mean?
For example, if a customer that we sold batteries 2 years ago.
Oh, and you want to upgrade to the new charger?
Yes,
Yeah.
instead of the old one.
Yeah. We have to check the firmware that was put on initially. There may be a firmware upgrade to the battery itself, but depending on what version that we did, but yeah, we're compatible. It's not a major problem. At the very most, it would be a firmware upgrade. And if you have the wireless cards in your batteries, we can do those over the net.
Okay.
But yeah, totally compatible. One over here too.
It's regarding the forced air cooling. You have informed it's using the forced air cooling technologies.
I'm not sure.
Forced air cooling.
Oh, forced air cooling. Yes, yeah. Variable speed.
Okay, I'm from Middle East actually. In a couple of warehouses, I can say 40% warehouse doesn't have the air conditioned room.
Right.
So the nominal temperature on July inside the warehouse will be around 35 to 38 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So how the full air cooling will saturate this?
So because you're talking about the heavy heat being drawn in across the charger. I have to check with the engineers on this, but a lot of times the movement of the air will be enough to cool the components because the components can run at a high level of temperature, but get us the information on what the ambient temperature is of the room so they can run a model just to double check. Most times we cover it, but it's always good in extreme temperatures just to find out exactly what it is. Yeah. And what was the temperature you were talking?
Maybe 38 to 40 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. Yeah, they send that in to us and let us run that by the engineers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any more questions about charging? No. I want to bring up one quick point before we go to the last piece. I had a question about the wireless control units, and they were asking about how many of these can we run in a warehouse. Is there going to be communication lap over? Again, these are 2.4G, no different than what you run a 2.4G system anywhere. It's dedicated IPs. So they will not cross over. They're dedicated and locked into those units. To make them work on another battery, you'd have to reprogram them for the receiver on that battery. So you can use as many as you want. There won't be any interference. I just want to cover that one quick. Okay, so if no more questions, we'll go to the last piece. And this is kind of a cool product that we have. So something that we've applied for a patent for. This will make us probably the only company in the industry that will have this, but it's a nano humidity control sheet. And what this does, it allows us to take humidity, moisture in a contained battery box. We'll have a battery box that could be IP54, IP65 sealed, and it's a sealed environment. But if we have a high humidity application and we get any ambient temperature differences where the air is saturated and the metal container becomes cooler, we're going to get some moisture. Even though the battery case itself is sealed, there's going to be moisture present inside that battery, and that can cause damage, it can cause corrosion, and it could be minor, it could be fatal, but there's still moisture present. So with this material that we're working with now, we can apply this inside the battery, and it's a reusable type of material. So it's composed of a nanofibers, it's high water absorbing material. Let me just get up here. To activate, you open the package, you just expose it to the air, and it activates it automatically. This will prevent moisture in a contained environment from existing and causing damage. Again, high humidity, difference in temperature, moisture starts to form. What do we do with it? So what the material basically does, it absorbs the water and holds it in place. It holds it while the humidity is high. When the humidity level changes and the air is not saturated anymore and the environment itself inside that container returns to a normal condition, the product will release the moisture safely inside the compartment without causing any damage. So it's a reusable piece of material. It's not just a one-off, one and you're done. But again, it's because the microfibers and the pieces of material that we use make this a very, very friendly piece of equipment to use. It's totally recyclable. It's made of some rubbers and some wood fibers. Let's see what else it has here. Go to this. There. So when you read the actual product description, we talk about how humidity exceeds moisture content. It absorbs the water, holds it, sets, prevents damage inside the battery. Once the battery returns to a lower than a moisture content, the water itself is released from the product back into the environment. No moisture hits the battery, and it's ready to reuse again. At the end of its life, when it's a product that you think it needs to be replaced, it's something that it's ergonomically friendly. You can just toss it into the trash and replace it with a new one. That's some of the logistics and some of the numbers that they've run. But like I said, we've got a patent pending on this, so this will make it a unique product in the industry. So exceptional moisture, absorption capacity, can absorb 50% of its own weight. It's bidirectional, meaning it's accepting and rejecting of the product depending on how the environment works. And it's a rapid humidity adjustment material. reusable, wide range of applications. It's good for below 30 degrees C and at a relative humidity greater than 95%. It's, like I said, you can see it here. It's very thin, doesn't take up a lot of space, comes in multiple sizes depending what the application is. There's no complex application, going just in a regular filter grill or just adhesive sticking to the side of a product. Halogen-free, eco-friendly, synthetic rubbers, plant-based fibers, easy disposable, and fire resistant. Any questions? Little small product, but it's can save you a lot of hassles down the road. Yes? See, you're laughing already. This can't be good.
So sorry, because for me, it's the first time that I saw this little product.
Me too.
It's really important for some cold storage, this kind of
Yes.
application. I want to know how many pieces of this stuff I need to put in our battery.
So this is new to me also. This is something we need to talk to our engineers about. So you're going to see, as anything that you do inside a metal compartment, there's probably going to be a space, like a calculation about how much area that we have, and what is the calculation of how big a product is, and where are we going to put it? Are we going to put it on the PDU? We're going to attach it to the side. Where is the placement going to be? It's probably going to be something that's going to be near electrical components. Those are the things that suffer the most damage. So that'll be something that we'll release more on as we go. But like I said, it's a patent pending product. But cold storage is definitely going to be an area because they're in the freezer for quite a number of hours, and they come out onto a warm dock. Condensation is going to happen, and over time, you know what happens when they open those batteries. We got corrosion. We've got minimal damage to maximum damage depending on what happens.
So with the heating pad system, so we will also for the cold storage.
Yep.
This kind of application, we will so every battery will have this small steam.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. Or not even just cold, but even if you have high humidity situations, because even if it's high heat without cold storage, high humidity storage can still cause condensation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a freezer, but just if you're in presence of high humidity, we got different countries around the world that experience high humidity. It's something that I would add. It's not going to be an expensive product.
Thank you so much for the answer. I'm so sorry.
No.
I still have the quick question about
No.
the charger. Because right now BSL BATT have the charger with the cables and the plug with 200 amps and 300 amps. Maximum 300 amps.
Maximum 3, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know you have made this kind of requirements or not. The customers want the one single charger with the plug 400 amps.
Yeah.
So how we figure it out?
So you with a 400 amp plug?
Yeah.
So
we don't accept the double gun.
So they want to go to single 400 amp plug.
Yeah.
But the charge will be a maximum of a 300 amp output.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question is?
If I want 400.
Yeah. Oh, if you want the 400 amp, you don't need it. I mean, you can go with the REMA 320.
Okay.
Yeah. But if they want the 400, they want the 400. It's not going to be a problem. You can be oversized rather than undersized, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah. A lot of times with plugs like that, it's more of a compatibility issue, and they want to keep a common plug throughout the whole warehouse, and they may have multiple charging applications, so they're trying to simplify that process. But just remember, keep the plug larger than the output, and you should be fine.
Okay. Yeah. But anyway, safety is important. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Murray, for the extensive content today, and also to all of our brilliant speakers for your dedication of the presentation and your background knowledge. Also to our engineering team behind the scene. But the truest part of this innovation lies with you, our graduates. You who power industries, communities, and
结束了。
Today is an invitation to collaborate, to lead, to drive the more sustainable future together. From all of us here at BSL BATT, from our teams who pour their hearts into this work, we thank you for your time, your trust, and your partnership. The launch event has now officially concluded. Thank you for your time today. May your businesses and our shared future be powerfully charged. Thank you.